John Carpenter's The Fog is a seminal work in the horror genre, renowned for its masterful use of atmosphere and storytelling. Co-written by Carpenter and Deborah Hill, the film tells the chilling tale of a coastal town haunted by vengeful spirits from its dark past. The Fog is set in a small fictional town of Antonio Bay, California, on the eve of its 100th anniversary. The town harbors a dark secret. Its founding fathers deliberately caused the sinking of the ship Elizabeth Dane, killing its crew to steal their gold and establish the town. As the Sentinel celebration approaches, a strange, glowing fog rolls in, bringing with it the ghosts of the ship's crew who seek revengeance. The film interweaves multiple storylines, following characters such as Stevie Wayne, a radio DJ who broadcasts from a lighthouse, Nick Castle, a fisherman, Elizabeth Sully, a hitchhiker, and Father Malone, who discovers the town's sinister history through his grandfather's journal. The narrative builds suspense by gradually revealing the town's dark past and the ghost's motive for revenge. A hallmark of Carpenter's directional style in his use of atmosphere to build tension and fear, and The Fog exemplifies this approach. Carpenter and cinematographer Dean Cundey create an eerie ambiance through the strategic use of fog, lighting, and shadow. The fog itself is almost a character, moving ominously through the town, shrouding the supernatural occurrences and creating a sense of claustrophobic dread. The film's visual style is complemented by Carpenter's minimalist musical score, which he composed himself. The score, characterized by its haunting synthesizer melodies, underscores the film's suspenseful moments and heightens the sense of imploding doom. This effective use of music to evoke emotion and tension is a signature of Carpenter's work, contributing significantly to the film's atmosphere. The Fog delves into themes of guilt and retribution, exploring how the sins of the past can haunt the present. The vengeful spirits in the fog are driven by a desire for justice against those who betray them, highlighting the moral consequences of greed and treachery. This theme is personified by Father Malone's discovery of his grandfather's journal, which reveals the town's foundation on deceit and murder. The film suggests that the past cannot be buried and will eventually resurface to demand accountability. This idea is reflected in the relentless nature of the fog and the ghost's pursuit of the descendants of the original conspirators. The narrative thus serves as a cautionary tale about the inevitable repercussions of immoral actions. The characters in The Fog serve both as individuals and representations of broader thematic elements. Stevie Wayne, played by Adrienne Barbeau, stands out with her isolated yet strong-willed character, who is both a victim and a beacon of hope. Her role as a radio DJ broadcasting from a lighthouse symbolizes a lone voice in the darkness, trying to warn and save her community. Tom Atkins, Nick Castle, and Jamie Lee Curtis's Elizabeth Sully provide a human element to the supernatural tale, offering a grounded perspective amidst the unfolding horror. Their developing relationship adds depth to the narrative and provides moments of respite from the tension. Hal Holbrook's portrayal of Father Malone brings a somber gravity to the film, embodying the moral reckoning that is central to its story. The Fog has left a significant mark on the horror genre, influencing subsequent films with its atmospheric style and narrative depth. Carpenter's ability to create fear through suggestion rather than explicit violence is a notable aspect of his directorial approach, seen in his other works like Halloween and The Thing. The film's exploration of folklore and ghost stories has inspired many horror narratives that delve into historical secrets and their present-day consequences. Despite initial mixed reviews, The Fog has grown in stature over the years, earning recognition for its craftsmanship and suspense. The film's success lies in its ability to create a pervasive sense of unease and exploration of timeless themes, ensuring its place as a classic in horror cinema. John Carpenter's The Fog is a masterful example of atmospheric horror, blending supernatural elements with themes of guilt and retribution. Its minimalist style, evocative score, and effective use of the fog create a lasting sense of dread. Through its exploration of the inescapable consequences of past actions and the haunting power of folklore, The Fog continues to influence and inspire within the horror genre. The film's enduring legacy is a testament to Carpenter's skill as a storyteller and his ability to tap into fundamental human fears.
John Carpenter's The Fog.
Hey there YouTube, hope you guys are doing well. Hope the month of May was good for everybody. If it wasn't, I'm wishing you guys all a better June. And I have a quick comic unboxing here I want to do of a comic series titled John Carpenter's The Fog. I was a big fan of the film, and I still am, and if you haven't seen it, I encourage you to go check it out. Just give me 1 second here and we'll go through the solicitation and cover the comic, what it's about. The ultimate experience in terror. 40 years after the events of The Fog, this comic series tells a supernatural horror story that reconnects several surviving characters and or their descendants from John Carpenter's original story to the new series of paranormal events that plague Antonio Bay, a small fishing community turned ghost hunting tourist destination. Now in 2022, something far more malevolent from Antonio Bay's dark past is roiling up from the depths of the sea. Alright, so this is a 4-issue miniseries written by Steve Ekstrom, art by Marco Fedora, and letters by Steve Ekstrom. And this is by Sumerian Comics, which I never heard of. I think they're partnered with another company, I believe. I may be wrong on that. But it's a supernatural horror story. So if you're familiar with the film John Carpenter's The Fog, this is, I'm not sure if this is canon to the film, but if you're a fan of the film, this would be great to follow up to what happened after the event. So obviously it takes place 40 years after the events of the film. This gives you an idea what happens to their descendants, their granddaughters, their kids, we do get introduced to some familiar characters from the film. naming them off by hand, we have a supernatural podcast team who is led by Annie Castle. Now Annie Castle in the comic is the daughter of Nick Castle from the film The Fog, so that's really interesting right there. We have a returning character, Bennett, who is actually makes a cameo appearance, in the film The Fog, and that's John Carpenter, which I didn't know at the time. Like, I found that out during this research, which was pretty funny, so it blew my mind. Another returning character in the comic from the film is Stevie, who is the radio DJ. She makes a return appearance in the story so far. Another interesting character that has shown up is a man by the name of Andrew. Now, his mother is Stevie, the radio DJ, and Andrew is the kid in the film who gets attacked at the home with his grandmother. So he's the survivor of that event, which is really interesting. And we also find out that he has a daughter named Casey. So we don't know too much about her right now in the comic, the first issue, but it's a great introduction, great story build-up, and I'm liking it so far. And well, when it comes to atmosphere and world building, we do take place in Antonio Bay. But when it comes to horror atmosphere, it's not there yet. So like I said, this is just a simple build-up. Aside from the character development, which is, in my opinion, great so far, we do find out some scenarios along the way with the paranormal team, the podcast team that's led by Annie Castle. So we figure out that she and her team are heading to Antonio Bay to interview locals about the events that happened 40 years prior to The Fog, the film. So events leading into that little scenario are very interesting, and we do find out little tidbits here and there about little paranormal happenings that are kind of unusual things happening around town, with cell phones, interference, static interference, and that kind of thing. And as you can tell, that's probably a sign that where we're going in the story with that storm that's approaching, so that's pretty neat. Alrighty, so I'm going to end it off here because I felt like I gave away too much when I said I wasn't. But yeah, I enjoyed the comic. Great story so far, a great build-up, a great follow-up to the film. So if you're somebody that's looking to watch something like a good old-fashioned ghost story, John Carpenter's The Fog is something I recommend. Go check it out. And if not, it's all good. Read the comics. But thanks for viewing the video, you guys. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video, whenever that is, in a few weeks. See you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.
John Carpenter's The Fog.